स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरू श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगना रघुनाथामृतं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्याय नामिने गौरकृष्णे नमः। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत श्री राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी श्री राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिय नीलाचल निवासाय नित्याय परमात्मने बलभद्र सुभद्राभ्यां जगन्नाथाय ते नमः। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। मुखं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं गायते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरो दीनतारिणम्। Today we are discussing 918. गतिर्भर्ता प्रभु साक्षी निवासा शरणं सुहृत् प्रभावा प्रलयस्थानं निधनं बीजमव्ययम्। I am the goal, the sustainer, the master, the witness, the abode, the refuge, and the most dear friend. I am the creation and the annihilation, the basis of everything, the resting place and the eternal seed. Gati means the destination, where we want to go. But the ultimate goal is Krishna, although people do not know it. One who does not know Krishna is misled, and his so-called progressive march is either partial or hallucinatory. There are many who make as their destination different demigods, and by rigid performance of the strict respective methods, they reach different planets known as Chandraloka, Suryaloka, Indraloka, Maharloka, etc. But all such lokas or planets, being creations of Krishna, are simultaneously Krishna and not Krishna. Such planets are manifestation of Krishna's energy. Being manifestation of Krishna's energy, they are also Krishna. But actually they serve only as a step forward for realization of Krishna. To approach the different energies of Krishna is to approach Krishna indirectly. One should directly approach Krishna, for that will save time and energy. For example, if there is a possibility of going to the top of the building by the help of an elevator, why should one go to the staircase step by step? Everything is resting on Krishna's energy, and therefore without Krishna's shelter, nothing can exist. Krishna is a supreme ruler because everything belongs to him and everything exists on his energy. Krishna being situated in everyone's heart, is the supreme witness. The residences, countries, or planets on which we live are also Krishna. Krishna is the ultimate goal of shelter, and therefore one should take shelter of Krishna either for protection or for annihilation of his distress. And whenever we have to take protection, one should know that our protection must be a living force. Krishna is the supreme living entity. And since Krishna is the source of our generation or the Supreme Father, no one can be a better friend than Krishna, nor can anyone be a better well-wisher. Krishna is the original source of creation and the ultimate rest after annihilation. Krishna is therefore the eternal cause of all causes. Maharaj Gajendra speaks in his wonderful prayers. And Maharaj Gajendra is speaking, O Lord, I want to take shelter of you because you are the supreme resting place. In this world everything is dark, but you are beyond this darkness. And day comes and day goes, and then there is creation and there is annihilation. So yes, in that sense there is that hustle and bustle, but apart from all that, beyond all that, you remain. And all the universes are created and annihilated. After all the universes are annihilated, you remain. And therefore, O Lord, you are the supreme resting place. So Krishna is beyond creation and destruction. Creation and destruction are like reels, movie reels, and they take us to different terrains. Creation and destruction are like different wheels actually, which take us to different terrains. Something is getting created, something is getting worn out, something is getting destroyed, something has come up as hankering, something has moved as lamentation. There are different wheels which keep taking us to different terrains actually. But the Supreme Lord exists beyond all this. So therefore the perfection of experience is if we can understand, see that actually this change, this flux which is happening all around. Through this, if we are able to understand and relate that all this is resting on the Supreme Lord. So this comes and goes, but that resting platform is the Supreme Lord. That resting platform is the Supreme Lord. So therefore a sadhaka devotee learns to practice to dissociate himself from the flux of this world and to fix himself in connecting with the Supreme Lord, in his relationship, in developing, intensifying his relationship with the Supreme Lord. That's all a devotee practices to focus on. That yes, Krishna is the supreme resting place. Krishna is the supreme abode. Just like if one watches a horror movie, he may feel very miserable and he may feel very terrified. And there are many negative emotions which are springing out of his existence. But then the actual matter of fact may remain that this person who's watching this horror movie, he's sitting in his home where there is somebody who gives him 3 times meal. There is somebody who is always worried about his clock, whether he is doing the needful activities, or studies, or working at his respective time hours or not. The matter of the fact is, it is his home. And everything there for him is being taken care of. Somebody is washing the clothes for him. There are arrangements how his clothes get ironed. There are arrangements how his room gets cleaned. That is his home. But yes, now within the home at some point of time, this fellow may open and watch a horror movie. So he is horrified and terrified. So now this horror and terror are simply titillations which are existing over and above the platform, the homely platform, like that. So these waves are existing over and above this homely platform. So therefore the point which comes is that if one simply keeps watching the spikes of this world, then one is having a completely negative and a completely different notion of what the world is around. But if one relates with a resting platform, then there is no problem about the spikes actually. And whether the spike is there or not there, it doesn't matter. So this failure, success, all these are spikes. Because of various conditionings, the living entity sees different channels. That's all. The living entity is seeing these different channels actually, and because of his various conditionings. And then because he's seeing the world differently according to his conditioning, so he's basically seeing different movie channels, and then therefore the living entity is getting affected by it. And if one considers that as all in all, then one sees that there is no solidity. Because it's there, it's gone, it's here, it's gone. And therefore life becomes very miserable. But now actually instead of relating with these spikes actually, if one if one connects to the resting platform, actually in the resting platform we understand that yes, this is these spikes may go up and down, that may happen, but then what remains, what is foundational is Krishna's grace. So this flux, this change may happen, but what remains always is this Krishna's grace actually. And therefore a devotee relates with that. So therefore, we see this verse, in that sense, is a very beautiful definition of who God is. This verse is a very beautiful meditation. Like we describe Krishna as one who possesses the Shadaishwarya. Similarly, in terms of relationships, this verse gives a beautiful definition of God. Who is God? This verse gives a beautiful definition of who is God. And I am the goal, I am the sustainer, the master, the witness, the abode, the refuge, and the most dear friend. I am the creation and the annihilation, the basis of everything, the resting place and the eternal seed. So this is a very beautiful verse for meditation on who is Krishna, is the abode, is the refuge, is the goal, is the sustainer, the resting place, the eternal seed. It is a very beautiful definition of God. So substance is relationship with Krishna. Everything else is a hollow show bottle concept. In this world, nobody is related to anyone else. Everyone is simply blowing his own trumpet. Everyone is trying to squeeze out his own desires from whoever comes on the way. There is no relation in this world actually. Everything is based on selfishness. Okay, a person may be selfless, may exhibit selflessness for some time. A person may exhibit selflessness for some time actually. But then he expects some results after that. Some results, not like that. So basically that is not selflessness. That's investment strategy for some long-term returns. So this material world is always like that. Therefore, in this material world, at best, a person can feel comfortable in relationships only for some time. At best. It doesn't remain for long. That's the point actually. That's the bare reality of this world. Therefore, just like we see in terms of manifestations, things are there, things are gone. Therefore, we need to see things in terms of relationships also. Relationships are formed and they get deformed and they get, so they are formed and deformed. And this is how relationships of the way. It comes and goes, it comes and goes, it comes and goes like that. But actually the relationship with Krishna is beyond all this flux. And therefore, one's eternal relationship is with the Supreme Lord. One's eternal relationship is with the Supreme Lord. And therefore, actually, that if one needs to bring, or if one has to bring solidity into one's relationships in this world, be it family relationships, or be it friendship relationships, or be it devotee relationships, just by saying together or just by having some commonality of being together doesn't ensure the relationship. The substance is Krishna. If it is Krishnaized, then it will have some substance and a lasting effect. And if it is not Krishnaized, then it is a hallucination. It's nothing else. So this verse offers this beautiful meditation actually, that beyond everything is Krishna, and therefore a devotee relates everything with the Supreme Lord in that sense. And is able to see, yes, yesterday as we were discussing about that the different living entities are basically different hands of Krishna, and if Krishna wants, he can reciprocate his love to anybody. That way. So he can give a pat, he can caress. The Lord can do anything actually, through anyone. And that way actually a devotee learns to see that whatever is happening in my life, Krishna is arranging those things through somebody. Through someone. Like that. So this is the point actually. And therefore you see, Srila Prabhupada is pointing out this aspect. Just like Srila Prabhupada, the Prabhupada writes in his Jaladuta diary, actually Prabhupada is writing that actually he had arranged some basic cereals like that when Prabhupada was going for the ship, and he was thinking nothing else would be available. But then there were vegetables and everything which were available for Prabhupada. And Prabhupada writes actually that I am grateful to Krishna who has inspired Srimati Murarji to make all these arrangements. So actually this lady, she had made all the arrangements through the captain, the crew and all that, that way. For Srila Prabhupada, understanding that he is a vegetarian, like that. But then Prabhupada was able to, Prabhupada was exhibiting that he's seeing that yes, it's Krishna who's done this arrangement through her, like that, who gave him a ticket actually, to go actually. It was Srimati Murarji. But it was not Srimati Murarji, it was Krishna who inspired him to go, her to give him a ticket, is it not? That way. Because she never gave a ticket on the first note, as you know, it was months and months of relationship, and after a year or two or so, then things happened actually. It was not in the first go. It was proper cultivation and all that, and at some point of time she got an inspiration, otherwise she was just, and even for proper to meet them, it was an endeavor. So the point is this actually, that a devotee is able to see that yes, it's Krishna who is doing this through somebody or the other, like that. So when we see that, then actually a devotee, he is not disturbed, like that. The devotee is not disturbed in that sense actually. Because you see, the point is that, okay, now in this world we see what is the cause of disturbance in relationship. Somebody was very favorable and he has become unfavorable. And people are disturbed and jolted actually. Yes, because if you see that as all in all, and then that's the cause of disturbance, like that. But then actually, if one is able to see that actually it's Krishna who is reciprocating his love through anybody and everybody, then where is the cause of disturbance? Okay, somebody was favorable, now it has become unfavorable. Okay, so Krishna is transmitting his love current from that channel. Now that circuitry is not working. Krishna will arrange some other channel. That way. So that is the point actually. Yes, we do need some association around us, we do need guidance in relationships around us. But yes, the point remains, if that simply remains on a material note, then that doesn't sustain actually. And it has to be Krishnaized, and because it is actually Krishna actually. And the more we relate to the Lord, the more solidity we will gain in our steps in life. And the more we do not relate with Krishna, the more our existence and everything is topsy-turvy, is on a fluctuating platform. That's what we understand Krishna as a supreme, dearmost friend, as a supreme relation. And then Prabhupada is expanding on this aspect of this, that Krishna is the goal. Krishna is the goal. That way. And then Prabhupada is making a point that yes, if there is Krishna, then the progressive march is fine. Otherwise, if there is no Krishna, then the progressive march is one is either misled or the progressive march is partial or it is hallucinatory. And then Prabhupada says people may worship various demigods and they may go to various demigods, so that's indirect. And those demigod planets and all that, they are simply one step going towards Krishna, but it's not much actually. Therefore, one should directly go. So Krishna is the supreme gati. He is the supreme destination actually. Therefore, perfection of any activity is how much we are conscious of offering it to Krishna. Because the activity may not remain, but what will remain is this connection that we offered it, is it not? And you have to move from one place to another, whether you took a rickshaw or you ran or you took a flight, it doesn't matter. What matters is till what point you have reached. They say all's well that ends well, okay, whatever happened in between is fine till the time. The end is wonderful, like that. So the end is Krishna, then in between is fine. So in between we'll be having variations. Somebody may offer his physical strength to Krishna, somebody offers his intellectual strength to Krishna, Somebody offers his agricultural enterprise to Krishna, somebody offers incense to Krishna, somebody offers writing to Krishna. The details may vary, but then what remains is that how solid is the offering. Now Krishna is the goal. Krishna is the goal. So therefore every step has to be evaluated in this way. How is this step taking me or anyone else towards Krishna in any way? And if it is not, then that step is not at all an important step actually. We're simply wasting our time. We are simply wasting our time, is it not? So in this way, this verse is a very beautiful meditation on the Supreme Lord. Tapameyam maham varsham Nigrahana me utsrijami cha Amritam chaiva mrityuscha Sadasatchaham Arjuna. O Arjuna, I give heat and I withhold and send forth the rain. I am immortality and I am also death personified. Both spirit and matter are in me. Krishna, by his different energies, diffuses heat and light through the agency of electricity and the sun. During the summer season, it is Krishna who takes the rain from falling from the sky. And during the rainy season, he gives unceasing torrents of rain. The energy which sustains us by prolonging the duration of our life is Krishna. And Krishna meets us at the end as death. By analyzing all these different energies of Krishna, one can ascertain that for Krishna there is no distinction between matter and spirit. Or in other words, he is both matter and spirit. In the advanced stages of Krishna consciousness, one therefore makes no such distinctions. He sees only Krishna in everything. Since Krishna is both matter and spirit, the gigantic universal creation comprising all the material elements is also Krishna. And his pastimes in Vrindavan as two-handed Shyamasundar playing on a flute are those of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So you see, this definition of the Lord, or this understanding of the Lord, broadens the perspective of who's God. Because, you see, it's easy to define God in terms of goody-goody terms. Okay, God is well-wisher, God is all-loving, is beautiful, is knowledgeable, is Surat. It's very easy. It's very boosting, to relate with that. But then God is complete in everything and anything, actually, and therefore everything is resting on God. So in this verse, Krishna is completing all the dimensions of understanding of who is God. So Krishna is not just behind the positive of everything. Krishna is behind the negative of everything also. Yes, and that is the point. Just like people may say, everybody acknowledges that yes, when it comes to nature, everybody acknowledges the power of nature. Everybody acknowledges, yes, the sun is very critical for life and existence. Everyone acknowledges that yes, we are dependent on rains. If the rains are not there, it becomes, the agriculture goes for a toss. When the agriculture goes for a toss, the economy is jolted, is it not? Like that. And you see, nature, the whole economy is based on the oil reservoirs, and the oil reservoirs are getting, and if you don't have sufficient oil reservoirs, then the industry collapses, the economy collapses, is it not? So everything is in that way resting on many critical factors, actually. And Krishna is those critical factors. So in that way, Krishna makes a point that I withhold the rains and I send forth the rains, is it not? Okay, we must say that yes, when rains come, then there are crops and that Parjanya, and the Parjanya as Anna comes, like that, and our sustenance is based on that. But if Krishna sends too much rains, then there are floods. And if Krishna sends little rains, then there is drought. So now we say, okay, so do I have to So okay, there are floods and droughts, all that is also caused by Krishna? Yes, that is also caused by Krishna. We don't give simply a one-sided definition of who is God. You know? And that is the aspect which Bhagavatam is teaching us actually. When Brahmaji is saying Tatte Nukampa Susamikshamana, it's a complete definition, understanding of relationship with God. When he says Maro bhi aapko bhi jo vichha tumhara Nityadasa tu atvar adhikar. It's a complete definition of who is God. It's a complete understanding of who is God. It's not one-sided understanding, oh goody goody, like that. It's not oh goody goody, one-sided actually. It's a complete understanding. It's a complete, so because if it is only, so that's the point actually. Just like, in an exam, if you don't prepare a particular part of the syllabus and the question comes from that, you're miserable, finished. But if you have prepared the whole syllabus, any question comes. Any damn question comes, no problem, Because one is prepared nicely. So in a similar way, actually, if one only prepares on goody-goody platforms, then one becomes a fair weather devotee. And if the weather is not fair, then one is jolted actually. So, therefore, devotee needs to develop this, devotee needs to develop a holistic understanding that yes, God is behind everything actually. So Krishna displays his supreme power in that sense. There are floods, there are earthquakes, and Krishna displays his supreme power. That yes, if Krishna wants to set things right, he can set things right with 1/3. And the living entities, they are simply, the living entities, because of their materialistic, animalistic propensities, they may try to, show off as if they are creating a very big empire, without God, and they are showing off their power and all that. And 1/3 Krishna gives and everything is on a zero, That's how it is. And civilizations come and civilizations evolve. And as civilizations evolve, the materialistic instincts evolve, and people understand, look at our civilization. We had this, we had that, we had this, and one flood finish, And then everyone starts, with wearing some tree barks and leaves, to cover the, like that, And that's how the, is it not? So this is the point actually which we see. The civilizations have come, and then everyone starts from scratch again. So if Krishna wants, he can set right the nonsense in 1/3, And that is why the negativity is Krishna's opulence as well. And you see, look at the power of Krishna. So therefore, as a devotee, one should not get disturbed by the injustices and by the nonsense which is happening all around the world. Like that. Why? Because if Krishna wants, he can set it right in one go. That is his power. We hear, and Kalki Avatar will come and just smash off everyone. One go, finish. So devotee is not disturbed by these atheistic propagandas and all that, these nonsense propagandas or demoniac propensities being propagated and all that, and seeing that yes, the demons are becoming powerful and the atheists are becoming powerful and all that. Okay, let them show whatever they want to show. They are just like Jugnus. He has just not taken his step, like that. And if the Lord wants, he can absorb everything in one go. Actually, therefore a devotee is disturbed actually. That yes, that my relationship with Krishna, nobody can touch it. My offering of service to Krishna, nobody can touch it. Because all these small, tiny penny fellows, what they are going to do in front of the power of Krishna? Look at the power of Krishna. If the oceans swell, who can stop it? If the earth vibrates, who can stop it? Okay, you can make a resistant building which resists 8 on a Richter scale, but if the earthquake exceeds 10, what do? Nothing. Is it not? So this is the point actually which is being explained here, and that's what Krishna, one sees the power of Krishna actually. It's not that we are rejoicing has happened and all that. No, it's not sadistic rejoicing, but we can see the power behind it. That yes, you look at the power behind it. If Krishna wants, he can grab, and that's what Mother Rukmini was telling. Being surrounded by all these demons, and Rukmi was driving all that, and Shishupal and all these fellows were completely surrounding, and there was no way out. But then Mother Rukmini's consciousness was what? That yes, I don't want to become a prey of all these wolves and jackals. These are simply nonsense wolves and jackals, and they are surrounding me. And let me call out for that lion. That is Krishna, and when that lion comes, then if that Krishna wants to take his share, who can stop it? Not like that. And that is the devotee's faith in his life, that let me go on endeavoring. Let me go on endeavoring, and I will not leave any stone unturned to offer my service to Krishna. And no matter whatever disturbances are there, no matter whatever problems are there, one swing, one shot, Krishna will come and grab me and take me off from this nonsensical, illusory display of this whole concept of materialism and demonism actually. And that's a devotee's faith, and therefore a devotee is not disturbed seeing these things. We can see the power of Krishna. In that sense, the Krishna is showing how powerful he is, and one sees that. Just like Srila Prabhupada, that bombing was going on in Calcutta, and the Japanese were throwing bombs, and Prabhupada was making kachodis, like that, and the bomb was, this is also Krishna, not in a sadistic sense, but then Prabhupada was seeing that yes, this power is also Krishna, but it is not a very pleasing form of Krishna, like that, but it is Krishna. It is a display of power of Krishna actually, and therefore a devotee in that sense, he has a very holistic and complete understanding. We can see the awesome display of power in the form of the floods, the hurricanes. How powerful is Krishna! With that power, Krishna will take me out of this material world, faithful to the Supreme Lord and surrender to the Supreme. Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai.